is a small part of a larger conversation about that. And we have some great panelists here who will sort of help us to kind of tie some ends with our discussion about structures.
And it all starts with an idea. So you have some crazy idea that women deserve equal rights. And then you say, okay, well, what's equal rights? What rights do women have? What rights don't women have? So you're doing research. You have to know your people and what you want from them and for them. You can't go to a marginalized community and say, this is what I know that you need, and so this is what's going to happen. You won't impact change that way. You have to work with them, with us. And you must know the action you need taken, and then you must hold the decision maker and legislator accountable.
So glad to be with you all today. I'm really excited that many of you were able to come to the performance a couple months ago. Who was able to attend? Very nice, excellent. And so for me, advocacy kind of takes on the form of, I was going to put myself more in like an awareness pot. So usually what happens is we're trying to come up with things. For those of you who aren't able to come to this show, Pieces of a Dream, I founded Pieces of a Dream as an opportunity to address various social issues that can't be addressed at a standard dance recital. This is the show that you all just saw was our 12th annual concert. We're really excited and proud of that. This piece, Uprising, is actually the longest suite I've ever choreographed. And I was really worried about it when we got started, but that's 45 minutes in length. So for those of you who were not, who didn't see the show, if you kind of hold in your head the difference between the 4-minute time limit with the tutus and the glitter compared to 45 minutes, I would keep, and like the directors of the studio would have killed me. But so we have dealt with racial injustice in a variety of terms. We have another suite that's called Together, which deals with domestic violence and spousal abuse. We've done works about depression, about suicide prevention, various mental health disorders. It's one of our ongoing jokes that we should pass out tissue boxes with our programs, because usually, if we haven't made anybody cry over the course of the show, then we probably didn't do it right. But for me, that's kind of what advocacy looks and feels like. I consider my space as an opportunity to kind of get some conversations started and perhaps show an aspect or an element of things that folks may not have considered. It might be something that's completely off your radar. If that's not part of your lived experience, you might just not be aware of it at all.
Advocacy, I think about one of the things that someone mentioned in the beginning when she was talking about engaging and hearing space and hearing voices. And sometimes when questions are asked, it's like you don't hear anything back, you get a little nervous. But the thing about voices and things about narratives is sometimes like your voice doesn't come out through a verbal cue. Sometimes your communication style is coming out in terms of the way you're sitting, the way you're standing, being present. You're communicating who you are by the way that you dress, by the way that you're just showing yourself who you are to you and also to the world. So when I think about that lens, I think about the work that I do in education with youth. So I'm a consultant for the City of Wilmington, working on an advisory council that addresses ages between 13 to 24 years old within specific neighborhoods in Wilmington that are most likely to have persons be the victims of crime or be the perpetrators of crime, to overall reduce those outcomes, as well as promote the most amount of positive developmental opportunities for them to succeed and be successful.
Personally, just learning about Pieces of a Dream is something that's, well, I have a very strong passion for wanting to engage, but I've always wondered how could I do it. Like I was always thinking inside the box, I guess. And working with this project was something that really opened my eyes to how creative I can be, and just opening my eyes to the engagement that I can provide for the community in different ways. So that's something I got out of it.
And one thing that I want to remind you all is, within the wheelhouse of the civil rights movement right now, But if you think about the students that were engaging in the Freedom Rides, if you think about the students that were participating in the sit-ins, if you think about everybody that was part of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee or SNCC, those are all college students. They're your age. Honestly, when I founded Pieces of a Dream, I was 24. So you all are not too young to do these things. You have a voice and you have the opportunity.